Welcome, everybody, to episode 9 of the Quayde Things podcast. I'm hanging out in Fort Worth today at Fort Worth Sound with my good buddy, Mr. Bart Rose. What do you know, my dude?
What's up, everybody?
No, dude, you've got a beautiful studio. Like I said earlier, I'd been here once in passing, and I mean, this is awesome. I did a little walkthrough a minute ago. It's a cool place, man.
Well, thank you, man. This is my third studio, possibly my last, unless I get a Grammy or something and move off to some faraway mountainous studio or something. But
that would be awesome. Have you tried to go in for any Grammys or anything?
how
How does that work? Do you get picked up, or do you apply, or?
Well, you don't have to be a member of the Grammys to win a Grammy. You have to be a paying member to nominate and vote.
Okay.
So I did it for a year because there was one album that I was part of, and I thought, I bet this thing's going to be nominated for a Grammy. So maybe I'll go ahead and pay my dues this year, and maybe we'll get a Grammy out of it. It was the Asleep at the Wheel album that was a tribute to
Bob Wills?
Bob Wills. You
Dude,
got it.
I own that album. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, they
you
spent a
recorded
day
that here?
They spent a day here just doing some horns and some of the vocals with that cat, the singer for the what the hell, Bob Wills band.
Dude, that's
The one that's still alive, the singer from that band.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so no, I've never had a Grammy. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying and hopefully get lucky with one of these projects soon.
Absolutely. What are some of the projects that you're working on currently?
Man, it gets to be such a whirlwind and hard to remember stuff.
Yeah.
But lucky for me, the calendar's right up there and I can look at it because after 28 years of this, I can't even remember last week. There's been 3,000 at least different bands and singers and songwriters. Some of the recent stuff that I've been working on. Jay Smith, a dude out of Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice, smooth voice. I love that cat. It's kind of low key right now. When's this thing going to come out anyway? When's this podcast going to come out?
From today's date, we'll probably be out in about 5-6 days.
Okay, well, I'll hold on to this one.
You can tell me about that one later.
I got a big one next week that's going to be very exciting. But also very exciting was work on the recent Daryl Dodd album.
Heck yeah, Double D's the man.
Redoing all those old hits from the old days with all these Texas country red dirt stars joining him on the on vocals. That was a really cool one to be part of.
Heck yeah. So, you said you've been doing this about 28 years. How did you get your start, in producing and running a studio and loving sound?
Yeah, well, I was a wannabe guitar god, a rock star wannabe back in the late 80s. I played guitar in my room all the time, just like everybody else who's trying to be amazing at that. But, after 5-6 years of that, I got pretty good, but I realized, I'm not as good as a lot of these guys I'm seeing around me.
Right.
And one day it just so happened that my dad said, hey, man, what do you think about getting a 4-track recorder and a drum machine so you can record your own songs? You're doing pretty good at coming up with riffs and stuff, but what about writing songs and recording them yourself? So that's how it all got started. Dad gave me these gadgets for Christmas, and I slowly kind of put the guitar down because I really just fell in love with the art of making albums.
Right. That's incredible, man. How did you get started into the Texas Red Dirt scene? Because we were talking earlier about, you'd gone and caught a show at a metal club, and I know you're into a whole bunch of different kinds of music, but why Texas Red Dirt?
Well, yeah, there's one album or artist that sticks to my mind that when I really decided I'm going to join this Texas country red dirt thing and just jump in and work real hard at it. It was Joey Green came and did an EP with me. I think it was called EP Tone Home. I can't remember, but it had a song on it called Natchitoches Blues.
Yeah.
And that one went to number 71 on the music chart, which was my first that I know of ever charting on that.
Really?
And for me, it was really exciting because with working all the rock scene, I mean, unless you're a major label rock artist, you're not getting radio play.
Right.
Unless it's on one of those Sunday night local shows and it plays once or twice and it never comes back again. So that was all the radio play I was used to. So when Joey did that EP with me and he brought in some cool cats to be part of it, he brought in Roger Ray, and I was pretty excited about that. And it charted 71, so it was about that time when I said, I'm going to do this full on because I think I can make something happen here. And it's just gotten better and better.
Heck yeah, man. I think you are making a lot of cool things happen, just in the Texas music scene in general. You and I were talking about some of the Lubbock cats that have been up here. I'm kind of partial to the Lubbock scene a little bit. That's kind of where I cut my teeth. But what are some of the great local artists around here that you've been working with recently? You know, what are some of the metroplex cats that you've had in?
Zach Stokes, Daryl Dodd. We talked about a couple of them a minute ago. Like I said, it gets to be so.
It all just kind of runs
It
together.
all runs together after a while. There's a new kid named Andrew Sevener from Burleson. He's like 21 years old. He's writing some really good country songs.
Andrew Sevener. I'm gonna have to check that guy out.
Yeah, and then there's just I post a lot of little clips and things on my Facebook page whenever I have artists in, and so my Facebook page can be a long list of who's been in recently, kind of deal. Yeah, it really is. It really is hard to remember them after a while. But Adrienne Johnston, she just won the Ranch Factor. She's going to be coming in next week. We're going to be doing some cool videos and some audio for that. She won some time here with me, and let's see what else. I wish I could see that damn calendar from over here.
It's all good. How did you get into the whole Ranch Factor thing? Because I know you judge that, and like you said, the winner gets some studio time with you. How did you get pulled into that deal?
I don't remember for sure if I offered, or maybe Justin Frizzell had known me through the scene and maybe put the word in with Bryant Bott, who puts that thing on, who's in charge of the Ranch Factor.
Right.
Said give Bart Rose a call, and when they did, I've been in Ranch Factor since the beginning of it. Maybe it's been 4 or 5 years going now.
I think so. It started 2013.
Probably sounds about right.
Something like that.
I've been in it since the beginning, and it's just a really good way to see new artists that are kicking ass.
Absolutely.
And to have commercials on the ranch without having to pay for them.
Yeah,
I got to commit 12 or 16 weeks or whatever it is every Tuesday to go out and drink beer and get free barbecue. It's not too bad.
No, I mean it doesn't even sound like a chore. You know what I mean?
No, it's a lot of fun, and then I get to record the winning artist when it's all over with too, and so sometimes that turns into only the 3 songs that I gave away. Sometimes it turns into an album. They'll buy 7 songs after they get 3 for free.
I mean, it's a good opportunity for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm I work with artists on that sometimes that might not have come to me otherwise, just because they want it, and get some really talented artists out of that for sure.
Heck yeah. Speaking of Ranch Factor, this year was an incredible just group of talent, man. Of course, James Cook was there, Kenzie Coppin, Adrienne Johnson, Tanner Fenolio. I mean, the list goes on and on. This year was stacked, man.
And we call this the year of the girls because there were 3 girls.
Sarah Hobbs is in there as well, wasn't she?
Sarah Hobbs. There might have been more, but those are the 3 that made it the farthest, and they're all super talented. But when it came down to it, Adrienne Johnston just had the most polished, most badass band, and so she came home with the prize.
Heck yeah, man. And Tanner Fenolio was the runner-up this year, wasn't he?
He was the runner-up, and that dude's got really good songs, really nice original voice. I think when you hear him, you probably don't think of anybody else. Maybe a little Wade Bowen in there or something, but for the most part, he's really unique and original sounding.
I like that about, James Cook, I think, is another good example of that. It's like when you hear him, you know exactly who it is. That first, grunt that leaves their throat, you know who it is.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anybody that sounds like him, and I just love his music. And lucky for me, he's coming by tomorrow. We're going to do pre-production for his next EP.
Oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. And it's Wichita Falls, and a very far drive from here. What, 3 hours, something like that?
Something like that. It's not bad. I've been lucky, and I've had a handful of Wichita Falls cats that I've recorded. Who's this other cat? Edit if necessary. The Walking Johnny is a band from Wichita Falls that I've worked with, and there's been 3, 4, 5 bands from out of there I've worked with that have been really kick-ass.
I've never really heard anything about like the local Wichita Falls music scene.
It's not a big scene,
right?
But there's 4 or 5 really talented acts from out there that if they stick with it, they'll do just fine.
Heck yeah, I think that's cool. That's one thing I really do like about Texas is just the sheer amount of music, and that each town can kind of have its own little, a little ecosystem.
Exactly. Stephenville, Lubbock,
Lubbock, San Angelo. I mean, San Antonio, New Braunfels, San Marcos. It just goes on and on, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's why I'm so blessed to be part of this, because I get to work with folks from the whole state and the whole region, because these radio stations are playing this stuff go all the way to Kansas and New Mexico and places like that. So It's been pretty lucrative for me.
Yeah, and with the internet now, man, there's no limit on how far things can go. Essentially.
Exactly. The World Wide Web is the sky's the limit.
It is.
Yes.
I was digging around on Facebook the other day, and I saw this music page. It's a Texas Red Dirt station out of Sweden, and I can't remember what they're called, but it's like there's a Texas Red Dirt station in fucking Sweden. Really? Like that's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. Do you know much about the international market for Texas Red Dirt music at all?
Not really. I don't. Who could we ask about that? I don't know. I mean, the world is a big place,
It is, man.
and it's so cool that that this scene stretches beyond just something regional. Because it seems a lot of people are tired of what's coming out of the other country town,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah, I think people are starting to see that Tennessee's lacking a little bit, and I think it's great that that the Texas Red Dirt scene is here to kind of fill that gap. I think better people are getting hold of it and listening more, and more people are getting involved, I guess, in the music. And I don't know, like when I grew up in New Mexico, and over there we just get little inklings of we got a little Stony LaRue here, a little Ryan Bingham there, stuff like that. But I had no idea there was like a Texas music scene at all. And then when I moved to Texas, man, it blew my mind. And so I think it should be nationwide if you ask me, but who's asking, right?
It's getting there. And the other music town has taken notice and given us, I believe, a top 10 chart from the Texas country red dirt scene as well. Billboard. Billboard has a chart now that has the top 10 artists.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
we're getting noticed.
That's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. Next thing you know, they're going to have like a Spotify, Texas Red Dirt channel. They've got like blues and reggae.
I
and
bet
stuff
they
like
already
that.
do.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, you search for anybody. My wife listens to the Six Market channels, and it's amazing that one artist can have their own channel like that. It's pretty cool.
Heck yeah. You've actually got to record Six Market before, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a couple albums with them.
Heck yeah, man.
And yeah, that's one that sticks in my mind as one of my favorites so far. It's probably, besides this new Daryl Dodd thing, probably what's done the best as far as their sales and just people coming to me because they heard that album and they saw my name on it. So,
Right.
bunch of great guys, amazing musicians, great songs.
Heck yeah. So I was reading a little bit on your website earlier. It took you 3 years to do this place, to build this studio?
Well, I came in after this place was done and I bought it. So it wasn't me that built it. I was the guy that was smart enough to buy it
After it was built.
when the getting was good. And
Right.
it took them 3 years to do it. They recently heard John Bauman and just now realizing how cool he is.
Oh, he's an incredible dude, man.
Yeah.
He actually, I the first episode of the podcast I got to do with John.
Yeah, I got to go hear that. I like that guy. I heard one of his songs on the ranch the other day since he was playing Ranch Factor. They played it before he was out there. Very good stuff.
Heck yeah. Did he just play like the after party kind of thing for Ranch Factor, or did he compete?
Did I say Ranch Factor? I meant Ranch Bash. I believe
okay.
he was on
Yeah.
the stage there.
Yeah, he was there at Ranch Bash. Ranch Bash was fun, man. I had a blast.
Yeah, I was there. I didn't see you, did I?
No, I don't remember seeing you. I may have had a little to drink.
There may be a lot you don't remember.
Oh no, there is a lot I don't remember. But no, we were there at Ranch Bash. It was me and my buddy Caleb Alaman and a couple other people, and somehow I got a golf cart.
Uh-oh.
Like
That's not good.
no, it wasn't bad. I mean, I gave a cop a ride. I mean, it wasn't like I'd commandeered a golf cart or anything. But somehow I just wound up with one. So I was helping like Shane Smith haul merch and stuff over there, and then I'd drive over here and catch a show for a minute, and then I'd drive back over here and get a beer from this bus, and it was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night. I was pretty tame. I don't like hangovers, so I turned in pretty early.
Yeah, you're getting older when you start considering the hangover.
You think about, this is fun, but am I going to have a killer headache tomorrow? I better shut it down now.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow I'm going to feel like dog shit in a microwave, but
Yeah.
tonight we're having fun. So I had a pretty decent hangover that next day.
Yeah, see?
It was bad, man. I'm getting close to 30, and that's what's going to kill me, I think, is the hangover.
30 to 32, that's when those hangovers really start hurting bad.
That's
get
not
ready.
what I need to hear. So, but you said you were, and I quote you, a wannabe rock god, growing up. How did you get into guitar?
Gosh, I don't know. I was thrown into music theory classes when I was 14 somehow. Maybe I signed up for it. Maybe I just got thrown into it, or thrown into choir, actually.
Okay.
And I already was thinking about playing keyboards. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to play some music. That was 1984 when everybody had keyboards on their music, including Van Halen
Yeah.
on that album 1984. But So it probably all started around there, getting thrown into a choir class, and then deciding to sign up for some music theory so I could start learning how to read and write music a little bit. And then somewhere right around in there, about age 15, started looking at guitars and got one from a pawn shop and was the kid in the bedroom for 6 hours a day messing with AC/DC. And then after that, the harder stuff like Joe Satriani and Eric Johnson and fun stuff like that.
Heck yeah, little Yngwie Malmsteen. You know?
I tried that. I aborted pretty early because that one was the hardest.
Dude, there's those shredders like that, man. It's insane to see what people can do with these instruments, man.
Yeah, and you don't even hear much of that anymore. Back in the day, it was like everybody was a shredder.
Yeah.
Nowadays, somebody plays a couple of decent licks and they're a guitar god, So.
Do you think we'll see the shred movement come back? Do you think that will become popular
Oh,
again?
it will. I think everything has a cycle of 25 years or so. Just like restaurants and gas stations, QT, they'll be gone in 25 years. Somebody else will come along and make a bigger store than them and move them out. So.
Right. I mean, that's what happened with Town and Country. They got bought out by Stripes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big thing for me because, like I said, growing up in New Mexico, it was either Town and Country or Allsup's. That's all you had, essentially. And now that when Stripes bought it through, everybody's like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's this new thing.
Yeah. People see shiny new lights and they go for it, but they get bored of it over time.
Absolutely.
Just
man.
like Kmart and things like that, Safeway, who knows? But everything's got a 25-year cycle, maybe 30 years.
Yeah, at least it's not any shorter. Stuff would just come back and repeat on itself too quickly. But so who do you have set up as your studio musicians, or do you just have guys on call, or do you have like essentially set people?
I've got a couple of different teams.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of individuals. Sometimes if I just want a guitar player, I call in Clay Willis. If I just want a drummer, I might call Christian Dorn. There's a lot of names there, but like one team has Josh Rogers on drums, Aiden Bubeck, Boo Massey on guitar. Aiden's the bass player. Mm-hmm. Drew Herricow, if I said that right, on keys. I use him for a lot of my stuff.
Right on.
So yeah, I've got at least 3 or 4 of every instrument. So if I'm running short or if some guys are busy, I can always call on somebody else.
Right. There's always backup. Do you play on any albums at all?
It's very seldom. I'm not that skilled anymore. And when I was playing guitar a lot, I wasn't interested in country back then.
Right.
It's
definitely more rock and roll.
I was doing rock and hard rock and metal and stuff back in the day. So you'll hear me on a lot of albums doing harmony vocals.
Okay.
Some bands don't have good harmony singer in the band, so I'll offer if I think my voice will match well with them. And so you'll hear mostly that. Maybe a little guitar here or there, maybe a rhythm part or an acoustic thing like that. But I try to just stay at the console and do what I'm best at now.
Heck yeah. But I think it's cool that you offer your harmony vocals and stuff like that. For me, it seems like it puts you a little deeper into the music,
Yeah, and it's easy for me because I was singing and writing songs back in the day. I was lead singer of my own stuff, and as long as I don't turn myself up in the mix too high,
right?
It's usually my voice sits fine with a lot of these cats.
Heck yeah. So sorry, I've kind of caught a chest crud that I've been trying to kick, man. I've been drinking Mucinex like it's Sprite.
Nice.
Oh no, it helps. For some reason, it helps. Whatever. It's expensive though, man. It's like $13-14 a bottle.
Well, just go get some of that Dayquil from Walgreens. It's $3.99. Get the off-brand.
I even looked at it too. Like I was just at Walgreens. Like that's why I was late getting here, and I was like, dang it, man.
You'll walk around in a daze though if you don't watch it.
Yeah, that's a man. Those quills, the NyQuil, the Dayquil, they put you out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to mess with pharmaceuticals much at all. I don't even like to take aspirin or anything. But man, this chest crud's been killing me.
It's that time of year.
It is. I'm just I don't know. I didn't get sick last year. I think everybody gets sick about once a year, and mine's usually about this time, like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get one last year, so I think it's just karma catching back up.
My word of advice to everybody is when you feel that cold coming on,
mm-hmm.
go get you a hot steaming bowl of pho.
Oh,
PHO,
dude.
the Vietnamese soup.
Yeah.
I think that because of all the chicken bones or whatever kind of bones that are boiling to make that broth,
mm-hmm.
I think there's some medicinal qualities to that stuff. So pho.
I agree, man. I might have to have a bowl before I leave town. But where I grew up is a lot of Hispanic people, so like my go-to, like I don't feel good stuff is menudo.
Tried that years ago,
Mm-hmm.
probably 30 years ago. Tried it, thought, oh, smells and tastes like dog food.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know what dog food tastes like.
You
Although
know,
when I was 5, I used to get inside of the dog food bag and try to eat my way out for some reason.
that's not a bad deal.
But I thought that stuff tasted like dog food. And then, a few months ago, I decided I'm going to try it again because a band was in and they went to a local legit shop and got some legit, what do you call that stuff again?
Menudo.
Yeah, menudo. And so I tried it all over again and thought, maybe I'll like it better this time. Nope, just as gross as before.
Really?
I mean, I hear that it works wonders for hangovers,
Oh,
but
dude,
I can't stomach
ice
that
cold
crap.
water and a menudo. Or a bowl of menudo. You're set, man.
Maybe next time there's a hangover, I'll try it, but I'm not going to eat it for enjoyment. I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. I don't know. I guess to each their own.
Yeah.
But so where would you recommend for a good bowl of pho around here?
Man, Haltom City is the town to be in, or Arlington, because there's a lot of Asian folks over there. But
Okay.
Haltom City, if you want to get something close here, that's where all the really legit stuff is. There's probably a dozen of them down there on Belknap Street.
Okay.
But there's some here in Fort Worth too, and Pho Hung is my favorite one. It's down on Camp Bowie.
Pho hung.
Pho Hung.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out. It almost sounds like you're confirming something. Pho hung. Yeah.
There's some funny pho names out there. We have fun with that.
Dude, there was a like fucking.
Yeah, that one. Fucking Way is the one that's most famous. That's a real restaurant.
Is
Fucking Way.
Is it around here or is it just like an internet?
I think it's on Beach Street. It's in Fort Worth somewhere.
Oh gosh,
Hadn't been there yet.
I'm looking it up and I'm going. I'm gonna have to.
It's
man.
probably good.
Heck yeah. Man, I keep looking around your studio and I see all this cool stuff, man. You've got all these instruments over here. Of course, you got your T-shirts. All your consoles are set up. How long has it taken you to kind of accumulate? Because I know it never stops. I know you're always getting a little bit more of this or changing this out, getting a new something. But how?
28 years, as long as I've been doing this. I mean, I started with $1,000 worth of equipment, and it gets addicting, and you just keep buying more stuff, and you get rid of the old stuff that's either not touted as something that cool guys should be using, because it's $100 or $200, cheap reverb box or something like that. But I mean, it's whenever you can afford it, you get out with the old and in with the new and something
Absolutely.
better.
Have you held on to anything long enough for it to become vintage yet, or do you have any like cool vintage stuff that you're?
No, I'm more of a modern equipment guy because I've never been interested in soldering and fixing things, so I don't fix my own gear. I've got guys for that,
Right.
and I can't have old gear in here that needs to be messed with all the time. So
Soldering's just a great way to burn yourself.
yeah, it's hard on the fingertips. If you're
It
not
is,
careful.
man. You'll burn yourself every damn time, or at least has been my experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, there's no really old equipment in there, but the item I'm most proud of is this API console here.
Heck yeah. So how long have you had that guy?
Yeah, about 4 years. It's paid off next year, and don't tell
Nice.
the wife. I'll be looking to get something else to add to it.
Well, I don't think your wife follows my page,
I
so
don't think she does.
I don't know. I don't know if she does or not, but I won't say anything to her about it.
That's just our little secret here, whether it's on the internet or not.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you a couple of months ago, you had done like a locals thing, like Jack Barksdale, a couple other people that I knew had come up here, and it was kind of like a jam circle, I guess. Really.
I called it an open mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did
but
you get started doing that?
At some point, Tanner Landry, who runs the B Studio here down the hall, he and I were just kind of brainstorming. We had a little slow spell there, and we're like, well, what can we do to keep the public involved and keep some good internet presence going on?
Yeah.
And at some point, we came up with the idea of open mic, and then the questions came up: do we record this? Do we not record it? And we've done a few of these so far, and one of them we did record and gave the recordings out to the artists. That was the biggest night so far. There was probably 30 or 40 singer-songwriters. We gave them one song each, I believe, and it was probably so popular because they all got a free recording out of it.
Yeah, incentive, whatever.
Yeah, that was the biggest night. We did a Beatles night after that. It didn't quite have the same turnout, and it wasn't recorded because we didn't want to have any issues with copyright.
Right.
The Beatles night was cool though. Hearing the locals play.
So are you still doing that, or you got another one planned coming up, or kind of what's the deal with that?
The Beatles night was slower than the others, and I got a little bit discouraged by that. So right now I'm not in a hurry to do another one. I just didn't get a good feeling about the low turnout. I really thought it would be a bigger turnout because Everybody loves the Beatles.
Yeah, everybody loves the Beatles.
Yeah. Maybe if I'd have said free Beatles recording, the night would have been better. But
Yeah, there's no need to get in copyright scandal bullshit about it.
yeah, I wasn't really interested in that.
I don't know. I think the open mic thing was cool, man. I got to see a few videos, and actually I heard one of the things that you'd sent out with one of the artists that had come up here. But I think that's cool, man. Personally, I think you should keep that going. Just, I mean, at your own pace, obviously. But I think it's really neat that you're doing that.
It'll happen again. Yeah, probably in the spring. Just need a little break from it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's next for you, man? I know that, I mean, you've got all this going on, of course. You know, you got artists coming in here all the time. But like, what's on your list, man? You know, out of the studio, what's something cool that you've got going on? Something that you want to do next?
I really want to go to that freaking music fest.
Steamboat?
Yeah, but
Heck yeah.
I need to figure out how to win those tickets. I think I need to be listening to the ranch and calling in when they say call in to win your tickets.
Right.
I've never been to that. I hadn't been. I mean, I teeter-totter back and forth about should I go to this or not.
Right.
I got a wife and 3 kids here. I can't stand to leave the kids behind for too many days. It's like going to Larry Joe Taylor for 5 days. It's just too much for me. I'm good for a day or 2.
Oh, I go 7.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
depending on your age.
Back to the hangover thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's only like an extra like $40 for per campsite to just roll up on Sunday, and like, get there early and set up, and then it's still daylight when you're done, so you can go into town and get like last minute shit you forgot. Then Monday morning you wake up already hungover, and there's like a 2-mile line of campers trying to get in. You don't have to deal with that crap. You're already there.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a lot of fun out there. I hit it pretty hard the first few years that I was in this scene, and it slowed down a little bit after that. Got the full experience the first year. Spent five days there.
It's a beautiful nightmare, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, depending on, what some people think beautiful is. There are a lot of beautiful things hanging around out there, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. They're everywhere. You can't shake a stick without hitting one of them.
Yeah, they got a lot of nice plant life out there for sure.
Oh, faux show. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Steamboat this year, man. I've applied for a press pass. We'll see what happens. I can ski and snowboard. I don't care to, though. I'm not as coordinated as I used to be.
Broken legs and arms.
Yeah, I mean, I've got kinfolk that live up there, and so I'm not gonna have to get a hotel or anything. I can just stay at my cousin's couch. But yeah, I'm trying to go. I haven't been to Steamboat yet either, and it's kind of that's what I want to do next.
You got to do it at least once, I'm sure, just
Absolutely.
like LJT.
I want to do Medicine Stone as well, but I was in Mexico this year instead of Medicine Stone, so it panned out.
Is that a ski place, Medicine Stone?
No, it's a festival in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like the LJT of Oklahoma,
okay.
if you will.
I hadn't heard of that one yet. I'm sure I will soon enough.
Yeah, no, it's. I think they had like 40 or 30 something bands this last year that went, but it's a pretty big deal, man. I know a lot of people that went and had a good time, but a friend of mine called me and she was like, "My boyfriend broke up with me. I want to go to Mexico and party, and you're coming with me." And so I went to Cancun for a week.
Okay.
So yeah, or it was Riviera Maya. It's right there just south of Cancun. But yeah, it was a good time.
Very nice.
So don't slap any bartenders. You won't get in any trouble down there.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, Mexico is bad. I would have rather been in Medicine Stone, honestly. I probably would have been in less trouble.
Yeah, I've got a story about Mexico as well.
Oh, let's hear it.
A friend of mine, a Mexican dude, says, "Hey, man, let's go on a road trip. Let's go down to, I think it was El Cunha. That's Mexico, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to El Cunha and go hang out with my family down there, see what it's like." So I tag along. We ended up in a little town called Boys Town.
Yeah, I know Boys
for
Town.
a few beers. That's all we were there for, really. We weren't there to see anything in particular. But it turns out there was a wedding in town that weekend, and a lot of the people that were from the same town we were from, the Mexican dudes out there, the ranchers and those kind of guys, were there as well. And one of them got jealous or mad at us for some reason and told the cops that we beat up some lady. So we got asked to leave a bar and come with the cops because we beat up a lady, which did not happen.
Right.
But anyway, lucky for us, the bar owner probably had a small bribe because we were paying customers, buying beers, and got rid of the cops pretty quickly and sent them on their way without taking us to jail.
That's not a bad deal. I should have paid more attention in bribing class, probably.
Yeah, in Mexico, $20 is about all it takes, I think.
Yeah, it took a lot more than $20 for me, but I probably could have started with 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's, man. I haven't been to Boys Town in a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been 30 years or more for me as well. I don't know what's going on down there nowadays. I wouldn't go back, as dangerous as it is in Mexico nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of enjoy the danger thing. When I
Oh
was in
gosh.
high school, this was right before you had to start getting a passport to go to Mexico. You just had to have an American ID.
Hmm.
And we'd drive to El Paso and park and walk across to Juarez. There was a bar that we could drink in over there. It was like $10 American, drink till you drown. It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, they were still hanging people off overpasses and stuff. But if you just kept your nose clean, you wouldn't have to worry about it. You know.
That's the image I have in my mind exactly, is the hanging from the overpasses picture I saw on the internet once. That's why I'm not going back.
Yeah, I'm weird. I guess I kind of enjoy the danger aspect of it.
No thanks.
But I don't know, man. Going to coastal Mexico, I don't think I'll ever want to go to Juarez again. There's a better part of Mexico to go to now. You know what I mean? So, but right on, Bart. I really appreciate you doing this, man. Tell us where all we can find, some of your music, where we can find you on social media, where we can do all of that good stuff.
Well, there's a page for Fort Worth Sound on Facebook, and there's a Bart Rose page, and there's a Reverb Nation page for Fort Worth Sound.
Okay.
That's where I have a lot of the music posted. Actually, any music that you find posted besides little clips from my phone on my Facebook, you'll find on the Fort Worth Sound Reverb Nation page. And I have a website, fortworthsound.com.
Right on. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate letting me coming in. Of course, like I said, we recorded here in studio at Fort Worth Sound, so it's going to sound a hell of a lot better than any of my other podcasts. That's for damn sure.
That's the way to put it.
Heck yeah. So, Bart, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, and catch you down the road.
Peace out.
Hell yeah.